Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, joined as always by Thomas. And today we got three trailers to talk about: Mendes, Empire of Light, Todd Fields, Tar, and Noah Baumbach's White Noise.
Quite
All
nice.
three of these trailers looked like pretty good. They look good,
They
pretty
did.
good.
I,
They
I,
look
I'd
good, pretty
agree.
good.
I'd agree. Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, three films that I'm excited for. Three films that like varying degrees of skepticism when it comes to their awards chances.
Yes, I'd
So
agree with that.
we will talk about it all. Let's talk about the trailer for Empire of Light. This looks like good. It
It did.
looks it looks like very good. Toby Jones has this like monologue about film, and Academy voters are just gonna be like, I like
Yeah,
movies. And like I'm also going to go. I like
yeah,
movies.
yeah,
It looks very fun. There is like the cinematography looks gorgeous. Like of course it's Deakins. Like
yeah.
this,
I mean, there are some
I'm not
great
gonna.
shots in it. Like the
Yeah.
opening shot of the trailer looks great, and you know the one where they're sitting on top of the roof as well. Mwah,
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
it looks like the Sorbardo for cinematography as of now.
Yeah, I'd agree. Probably, I'd agree.
Like
I mean, we haven't seen anything really from the Fablemans so far, so it's hard to completely
yeah,
rule that as a possibility.
I mean
But
Janusz Kaminski is like obviously
yeah,
like good at his
yeah.
job. So
But like I'd say Bardo and this are definitely the top two. I'd agree with that.
yeah, off of what we've seen so far. So yeah, Olivia Colman looks very good. She's gonna be playing schizophrenic, and I mean, why would she not be nominated for this after
Yeah, I don't
everything
know.
else?
She
She
looks
looks
like she's
very
got
good.
meaty role. She looks
Yeah,
very good. She's always very good. So
I mean
and the
obviously.
Oscars seem to like her very much. So I would find it hard to believe she wouldn't be nominated for this. I don't know why she wouldn't.
Absolutely. You got Michael Ward, who I know we didn't really see much of him, and I
No,
don't entirely
no,
know what his character is.
no. But he
Um,
does look like he will be playing into some ideas that are seen like with a shot of everyone banging against the window, clearly
yeah,
angry. You know, it does look like they're playing into those sorts of themes. So maybe if he's got a big part in those things, and
yeah,
then maybe I can see a path for Michael Ward to get
yeah.
into the conversation.
So as you mentioned, Toby Jones, it looks like Colin Firth like is going to be barely in this movie as I suspected. Like I
Yeah,
think I brought up earlier that he was only on set for like a day. Like he was listed fourth in the cast. Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that he's going to be in this that much. It looks primarily centered around Olivia Colman and Michael Ward in
Mm,
movies. And I don't
yeah.
know, the trailer didn't do that much, but it looked gorgeous and it had great music and it was well edited and it looks stunning. And that's all I really need out of a trailer. Like I don't want any more trailers for this film.
No,
I
that's I
I want.
literally got that in my notes as well. Like for a trailer, we don't get very much. However,
Mhm.
I do think that is enough for selling the sort of idea of the film and what it's going to be like. And I think it does enough to sell the film, and instead wants me leaving more. Like a lot of trailers want me feeling a bit less. Cause I'm like I go in too skeptical almost. This one, you know, it makes me want more. It makes me just want to jump into whatever they're doing with this. In terms of Oscars, I do think there are two sides to it. There's one which is that it's directed by Sam Mendes, Roger Deakins cinematography, in the cinema setting. It's about the art of film, Olivia Colman, all of that kind of stuff. Then there's the other side, so just niggling away in my mind, and that is the fact that it is about a schizophrenic, and we don't know sort of how weird it will be, and we also don't
Mhm.
know the direction of this film really at all. So I am a
Yeah.
little skeptical about because like one part of me thinks yes, this has got to be a best picture contender. The other part is a little more cautious. Having said that, I did realize that well, A Beautiful Mind won. That is also
Yeah.
about schizophrenic. So like I guess maybe depending on how it's handled, if it's too weird, if it's sort of very not weird like A Beautiful Mind. A Beautiful Mind is weirdly so unweird that it's sort of a bit off-putting. But anyway, yeah, the film looks really great. I don't know what really more to say. I mean, this is also
Yep.
definitely one to watch in cinemas. It's set in a
Yeah.
cinema pretty much. Just go watch in cinemas.
Yeah. I mean, and it looks good. Like Mendez has never been a director that I've like loved his work, but he makes consistently very solid films. So
I really love American Beauty. Other than
that's
that, though, I think I would agree with that. Though he does make very good films, but
yeah.
maybe not more than that.
So I mean, in the first reactions we got out of this were that it was like good and like Olivia Colman's great, but like maybe not like a big contender. And like, yeah, I think that this movie will be very solid. I think that it will be very baity.
Yeah,
It just looks like a good movie.
it does.
Like
It does.
it looks like a very solid movie. The trailer was like very good. As far as awards, I think you kind of nailed it. Like I think like floor, we're looking at actor, cinematography, score.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think ceiling, we got all those things plus picture, director, supporting actor for Ward, screenplay. I mean, editing, production design. I think could all be thrown in there.
Yeah, and like I'm not ruling this out of the conversation for actual best picture itself. Like put it that way.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. absolutely. Let's talk about Tar.
Oh,
This movie looks like it's going to be a masterpiece.
it does look very good, and I completely agree with everyone comparing it to Spencer already. I
Yep,
think,
it's going to be
yep,
Spencer.
it's just right. It is just
Actress
right.
and only actress.
Yeah,
That's
and
yeah.
like even that, I think it will be down to the day almost if Kate Blanchett gets in or not. I'm not entirely confident she does. I think she looks really, really great. I'm sure she'll be one of my favorite performances.
Yep.
But it's one I don't know. Like I'm not sure about her getting it. I'd like to see her get in. I'm sure she'll be in the conversation. I'm not sure if she'll get in though. Having said that, though, like Todd Field looks like he's doing all of the things that he's got in his director sort of locker. You know, just pulling them all out. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh,
Like as we say with the comparison to Spence, I don't think the film itself will be a very Oscar-y thing. It again, like Empire of Light, is actually showing very little in what it's actually going to be like, which does make me excited because I think there's probably going to be a lot of sort of interesting places this story goes, and I'm very looking forward to it. It looks like it will be a hit at Venice. It could end up winning Venice, but other than that, I think a few things might sort of slip through into the conversation. Other than that, it will still be shut off. That's
but
my
this also looks like it's gonna be like a high 80 on Metacritic. Like just talking
that
about
is
this
true.
trailer
Exactly.
itself,
Yeah. I think it'll be a hit at Venice.
this looks stunned. Like this looks like my type of film. I just watched In the Bedroom by Todd Field, and it's like it's a 5 out of 5 for me. Haven't seen Little Children yet, but also can't wait to see that. Like Todd Field is just like good at making movies. I've realized, and I think that everybody who's seen any of his movies knows this. He's just kind of good at doing that thing, and he's been working on this for 16 years. He said in an interview with like the Venice programmer that he worked on the script for like a decade, and he approached Kate Blanchett and said it was specifically written for her,
I saw
and
that
that
as
if
well. Yeah.
she didn't want to do it, it wasn't going to be made. Like this. I don't know. It seems like he's trying to make a masterpiece, and so far it looks like he's succeeding. Like it looks so avant-garde and experimental and weird. Will also like it's just like it's gonna like be so emotionally impactful. Like I can already feel it. Like
Yeah.
this movie is going to be great. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I said
everything
about like Todd Field pulling out all the stops. I think this, as I say, as you say, looks like he's trying to make his magnum opus, and
Yeah.
that's fair enough. We'll leave him to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like feed it to me now, inject it into my veins. As far as awards, Blanchett, I think is well, I think nothing is the ceiling and the floor is Blanchett, or is that inverse of that? Inverse
Yeah.
of what I just said.
We got it. We got it.
Yeah, I just I don't know. This doesn't feel like it's going to be a thing outside of Blanchett. I don't know why it would. Like I would love to see this in picture just based off of the trailer. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be that kind of thing.
No.
So, but look out for Kate Blanchett. I'm so excited for this movie. Like it looks so good. Like the editing with like the music and it's rising and then there's like the humming of the car. I was like, oh my god, overstimulation of like great filmmaking. I'm so hyped for this film. It also looks like it's going to be telling like some sort of like LGBT romance story, which is also
Yes,
just, like,
as well.
I mean, Portrait of Lady on Fire and Moonlight are in like my top 4 of all time. So like, just also feed that to me. So yeah, this movie looks great. This movie looks absolutely phenomenal. I can't. I really really can't wait. Okay, let's talk about White Noise.
Yeah.
I'll let you lead with this.
Okay, so I said before we were recording, I think sadly Baumbach may struggle for work after this one because the trailer's only got 5,000 views. 500,000 views, sorry, not 5. It'd be very worrying if it was only 5,000. 500,000
more than.
Yeah. But from everything I've heard, it's got a massive budget. I just think it's not going to be very well watched. I think it's going to be very polarizing. I don't know if it does much of the Oscars outside of adapted screenplay, which I still stand by. I think that is the only branch that will maybe accept them. I mean, I wasn't really struck on the trailer. I thought it was very weird. I did want something slightly more tangible in terms of plot and characters, which I did feel like we got, even though with Tar and Empire of Light, I said they were not giving you much, but I thought this one in particular, people have tried to tell me about what the book's like. I didn't see any of that in it. This just looks like a bizarre film. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know where it's going. I mean, I'm intrigued. I guess if that's what this trailer wanted to draw at me, then it worked. Adam Driver looks like he's doing something very interesting. I'm excited to see him. But yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on in the trailer itself. I didn't get much tangible, something to like really grasp onto in terms of characters or plot. Therefore, I don't think for me it really worked with the trailer.
I don't know what the hell is going on either. However, I loved it. I am
Yeah,
a
it's selling the intrigue. It's selling the intrigue, and that
yeah.
is fair.
So I love Noah Baumbach. I mean,
I
he's made
agree.
two of my favorite films of all time, in Marriage Story and Frances Ha.
I agree.
As we all know, I'm a bit of a what's the word, Greta Gerwig stan. Uh,
Yeah.
I do love Greta Gerwig quite a bit. With just everything she does. Adam Driver, also one of my favorite actors. Like, a lot of this feels
Ticking a
like
lot
it's
of
going to
boxes.
work for me.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it's going to work. It looks very well shot. I feel like as far as his like visual filmmaking, Noah Baumbach's kind of like stepping up his game for this one. Because like, not that like Marriage Story and Frances Ha, for example, weren't well shot, but like this just looks so much more like stylized and visually striking. It feels
Yeah.
like he actually has a tangible style compared to his previous films, which were much more like naturalistic, which I think worked for those films. For what I know about this, I
Yeah.
feel like this
Yeah.
needs to be a bit more stylized.
Yeah. And
And
like you can tell where the budget has gone.
yeah,
But as I say, I just have a bad feeling this film's going to be
so
a flop,
me
and
too.
I really don't want it to be.
I think that I'm going to like this movie a lot. I think that I think that this could flop. I've been saying this for months now. I think that this is going to flop on Netflix. Netflix is reportedly, they're like, oh, this is not what we thought. This is way too weird. Like Netflix thinks it's too weird. They don't know what to do with it. Like, they put a lot of money into it. They're just gonna dump it. Like, similar to what happened with Blonde. Well, what's happening with Blonde, where they're just like, too weird. This is not what we wanted. But like, I think I'm going to like both Blonde and White Noise, though. Like, with both those films, I think that I am going to like both of those movies. Granted, Blonde has the controversy surrounding it, which we won't get into. But like, we'll see how that pans out. But
Yeah.
with this film, I don't know. It looks very well shot. Obviously, you can't tell much about like the editing, but like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have a good time with this. I think it's going to be like, I just see a scene where like Gerwig and Driver just like absolutely explode later in the film. Like, it feels like it's gonna have this insane climax of writing and acting that I'm gonna really be able to get behind. So
Yeah, yeah. No,
yeah.
for me, I'm just a little more skeptical. I think, like, I will massively respect all the acting going on. I will respect it, but I don't think it will all come together for me personally. But that's only based off what I'm seeing from a trailer. So, as I said, I just sort of wanted something a bit more tangible from the
I
trailer,
mean, to be
which I
fair,
was.
you just said that the opposite was good for Empire of Light. So
I did, but I still think we got slightly more. Like that was showing like the fact that we are going to get cinema setting, and it's going to be a bit to do with the art of film. And think we
well, I
got
think that
like
this is showing that it's going to be like an apocalyptic tale.
yeah,
Of
that's
like,
very vague though. That is an incredibly vague.
I think a movie set in the cinema is very vague.
Yeah, but
That's
I
just
also
one
think
of
they
the
were showing
settings.
stuff with. They were teasing stuff with Michael Ward's character, stuff that might be going on with him. They were the Toby Jones's monologue, even the fact that he was talking about messing with people's minds, and that sort of plays into Olivia Colman stuff. And it just felt like it was a more
Well,
complete package they were selling
this is teasing brilliant writing.
me. Is that something you can tease? Is that something you can tease?
I don't
Really?
know. I like Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig a lot, so I
Yeah, no,
always
exactly. I'm sold
be
on the cast. I'm sold on all that kind of stuff. The trailer did not sell me. The trailer did
that's
not
fair.
sell me.
I think that I was going to be predisposed to be liking this just
Yeah.
based off of the cast and
Yeah.
director.
Having said that, I still think this screams sort of lone screenplay non. I still think it screams that.
So okay, let's talk about award stuff then. I think that floor is nothing.
Yes, I'd agree. I can see
Ceiling,
again.
screenplay. I know. I think that there's different levels. You have like screenplay, but
Well,
then
I
like
think that's the point of floor and ceiling. You
it's
have the top level and the bottom level. I think if you're deconstructing it so heavily, you sort of lose the point of that system.
you're right.
But no,
Fine.
you can deconstruct it anyway. That's fine.
The main thing is adapted screenplay. That would be the
Yeah,
first thing. That is the first. That is the first rung on the ladder up to the ceiling.
yeah, yeah. There we go.
If it really pops
We've
off
got this
though,
allegory nailed. We know what we're doing.
if it really pops off though, like I think picture, actor,
Yeah.
supporting actors for Gerwig even.
Maybe. And maybe even supporting actor for Cheadle. Like, we didn't see him at all
Yeah,
in the trailer, really. Like, we saw one shot of him, I think.
yeah.
But he's high up on Gold Derby. Higher up
Also
than you'd expect.
cinematography, editing, VFX as well. I think could come along. Plus, there's an original song that's being done for it, so
I
it could be
saw, yeah.
going into the song category. So that's our ceiling. But the main thing that I think the main thing that this should be going for is adapted screenplay. But
Yeah.
Glass Onion, Knives Out is still stronger, so we don't even have to worry about
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I also just I don't know. I'd be so happy if Greta Gerwig got her first acting nom for this. That would make me very happy.
I don't see that happening. No.
I don't either, but it would
No.
just make me happy because she deserves one for 20th Century Women
And for Frances Ha as well.
and for Frances Ha. So she's deserved it twice now.
Yeah.
Supporting actress for 20th Century Women, best actress. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't with the lineup that year would not have been mad with her winning for Frances Ha.
Well, yeah, because Jennifer Lawrence won, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
needed to be Greta Gerwig and Frances Ha because she's great in that movie. And it was also like probably the best movie of the year. But moving on. Those are our thoughts on the trailers. Like I said, I'm excited about all three of these films. Levels of excitement probably going Tar, White Noise, Empire of Light.
I'd go probably Empire of Light, Tar, White Noise as mine.
Okay.
Three. I'm sure that became pretty obvious the way I was talking about the film.
Yeah. Various degrees of skepticism from awards. I feel good about Empire of Light, Tar, and White Noise. We'll just have to wait and see. I think they're each gunning for one nomination, and
yes.
We'll see. But any final thoughts, Thomas?
No, I mean, just very excited. We really feel like we're now in award season. We're getting all the trailers and all of them that we're talking about. Hopefully on the show, we may talk about some other greatest beer ever. Sorry, I did the cough. I should have done the cough before doing the greatest beer ever. Anyway, spoiled that bit. But no, like these all the films we're talking about now are major awards contenders, and I'm really looking forward to them.
Yeah, we'll be starting a Venice coverage very soon. We will not be at Venice, but we will be talking about Venice a lot based off of what people at Venice are saying because we're poor children. So go.
Yep.
You can find us elsewhere in the links in the description. But until then, thank you for watching.